How's it going? How's everybody doing? It's doing some Christmas cooking today, but not really. It's not really Christmas cooking. It's just something I'm cooking for Christmas for other people. But I have my Christmas cook hat on, as you can plainly see, and I also got my Grinch long johns. Sexy, right? Okay, let's not turn that into one of those videos. You can see that on my OnlyFans page. But really, I'm just making something simple tonight. Some tomato sauce or marinara sauce. I don't know. I just call it tomato sauce. Marinara sauce, tomato sauce, whatever. It's sauce. It tastes good, and I'm going to make it right here and right now. And I forgot to open up my cans, so give me 1 second. And back. Yeah, I wanted to open up the cans of tomatoes because it's not really too exciting. Sit me for 2 minutes, so that's what I did. Anyway, so I'm going to get the heat going on here. I should have actually turned that on while I was doing the cans. And pop in a little bit of olive oil. There, just like that. I really don't like this olive oil. It's got this like stupid little that on the end, and it drives me up the wall. First of all, the oil doesn't come out fast enough, and that drives me nuts. I know I can just pop it off, but then I might get too much, and then I'll have an even bigger headache than that one was. But anyway, that's heating up. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit high, and I'm going to get my onions. So basically, it's basically ingredients I got here for it. Just some fresh herbs, basil, oregano, some onion, some garlic, olive oil, a little bit of sugar, salt and pepper, some red wine. That's for me. Actually, no, I'm actually drinking white wine right now, but drinking Black Tower. I know a lot of people that do Black Tower. It's like sweet and candy. That's why I drink it. It tastes good. But normally I would use white wine instead of red wine. But the only white wine I have is the Black Tower, and it's a little bit too sweet for this, so that's why I'm not using it. And I'm gonna make the tomato sauce, and if time permits it, I will definitely be hitting a pause button here and there, but if time permits it, I will try to do some bit of just garlic spread. Make sure I got my dried cilantro in here. There it is. I'll get it on my break, or on my break when I'm at work. But I'll get it when I have to take a break. So let me sharpen up my knife. I'll get my old-timey sharpener. This is from my grandmother, and she passed away like 24 years ago, I think. Almost 25 years ago, but I just liked having old kitchen gadgets around. I got rid of a lot of them, but this just sat in the drawer. But did these things ever work? I've never seen one of these outside of an elderly person's home. I almost said old person, but I'm almost an old person, and I don't like ageism as it is, so elderly person. You can give it a little spin, but I don't know if this actually did anything. Oh. FYI, that is not the stuff in the pot. That is the stuff around the pot. That's what happens when you don't pay attention, too. Move this off the heat for a second, and let whatever was on here cool down. And I just sort of burnt my Star Wars cloth. But let that do its thing. Make sure the dog's okay. And is this even sharp? Oh, and I want to check on something. I will be right back. Okay, back to what we were doing. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, whatever was on the burner. I don't know if it was on the burner or if it was on the bottom of the pot, because when I took it off, there was a lot of smoke coming from the bottom of the pot. Bottom of the pot is in on the outside, not on the inside. So I wiped it all up, and I think we're good to go. Anyway, yeah, I don't know if those actually work. Speaking of what I was just talking about, this gadget here. But I just use my steel. Give it a quick blast. I do have a stone somewhere, but I don't really use it that much. I don't do as much cooking at home as one might expect, but anyway, let's cut this up. I'm just going to do a rough cut because normally when I'm doing like my tomato sauce, I like to do half and half pureed and half diced, but they didn't have any of that at the store when I went to, so I got half whole tomatoes and half was actually sliced. But I figured I decided I'm just gonna blitz it all up. And when I say blitz, I mean just blend it all up with the blender or the hand mixer, and go that route. So I'm gonna get these in there. That's my onions. Go inside. Is it hot yet? It's hot. Hear that sizzle? Boom! You can get some garlic in there. I forgot to cut off the ends, but that's okay. That only takes a second. I can use all this garlic. I mean, it saves some. Like I said, if there's time, I'm gonna do some garlic butter after. But am I too far away? I'm too far away. There. Is that better? Good enough for me. Uh-oh, can't see Gunner. There he is. My little mascot. So, let's get this going. Get this little shake. Little toss, pop that back on just like that. Toss that in the trash, just like that. Alright, now I'm going to give these a crush. So you take your knife, and it's sitting on the counter, and you're basically crushing. Just be careful. You can't just chop it, but this is good and effective. Actually, that's a really big piece. So I'm going to break it in half and do it twice. There, and there, there, and there. I'm going to crush them all, but like I said, some of it's going to go into garlic bread later, or garlic butter rather. So all that. And the rest I'll cut in half first. And the rest I'll save for the garlic butter. So there's another little spin. Smells really good. It's got that flavor starting to come out, the scent starting to come out. Get my garlic in there, let that go for a minute. A little heat. My hands are rinse. Have a little sip of my black tower. I love this wine, it's so good. Okay, give that a little wipe. Move my glasses out of the way. Tools of the trade ready. So I'm just going to give this a little shake, give it a little spin. So I think that's all I'm allowed to do before copyright infringement kicks in. I can't. I don't think it matters on this channel. Do I look as far away to you as you do to me? Because I feel like I'm like miles away. Camera closer. Oh, that's cooking. Actually, you want to see my high-tech camera stand? This is it. This is my high-tech camera stand. It's a box. But it works because it's very tall. It's almost as tall as me, which, okay, that isn't very tall because I'm not very tall, but so I'm just trying to find a good spot. Usually I have it mounted up on the wall, but I didn't feel like going through that much trouble. Plus the thing I used to mount it on the wall is kind of wearing out and it tends to do this. So those stir, they're starting to get clear, and a lot of that scent and aroma and coming up. It's smelling really tasty. You can really smell the garlic and the olive oil there, as is to be expected if you've ever cooked at least once in your life. The stuff. When you cook it, it smells. That's basically what I'm saying. So while that's happening, get out my herbs. Hi, Herb. How are you doing? I'm all right, man. I'm gonna eat you. Oh, you don't want to get eaten. I'm gonna get some oregano. And oregano, I find the easiest way, just oregano and thyme, the same thing. Easiest way, I just take it, just go slide it off right into my hand like that. If it's parsley or something, cilantro, then I'll pull off the individual leaves. But oregano, you can do that. Those little stems aren't going to hurt you. The big stem you don't want in there, but plus, again, like I said, I'm going to be blitzing it, so all this stuff is going to be broken down anyway. So get some oregano happening here. A couple more pieces. The basil, when I take it off, I'm just going to shred it. But the best way to cook basil, or cut basil, which I will sort of do a little demo in a second. I got enough oregano here, a little bit more maybe. These bigger stems out of here. I know this is the exciting part of the videos, all right? Yeah, I can watch grass grow at home on my own. I don't need to watch it on your channel, because that's how excited this part of the video is. Anyway, at least with this camera angle, I don't have to wear shoes. I'm in my socks. Should have wore Christmas socks. I got a few pairs of them. So there's my oregano. Oregano? What the? 6 spices? Some of them must be doubles. That's a Simpsons reference. Early Simpsons, you know, when they were like still really good. So pop that over there, get off the basil. Now I can't really do the demo. I can just sort of describe it, but the best way if you want to cut basil at home is you take your basil leaf as it's whole, and you just take it and you just roll it up really quick. It doesn't have to be like super tight. It's not a joint. You're not smoking it. I mean, you can. I don't know. Dry basil, when it burns, it actually smells like weed. So, but anyway, you take it and you just go boop, 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 chop it all, and it chops up nicely, really fast. But because I'm blitzing mine, I'm just ripping it into pieces. And I gotta pause this because I just got a phone call. Apparently that was Old Man McGee, and I'm getting evicted. He's a dick. Actually, no, it was just Tracy let me know she's home and she'll be inside in a minute, so I'll probably be hitting that pause button one more time, at least, anyway. It's kind of the theme of this video. Pause, blah, 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 pause, blah, 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 pause. But anyway, rip up my basil, however you want to say it. Basil Rathbone, who's an actor, back in the day, way back in the day. Okay, so I got more than enough herbs here, but that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this one more stir. And when you're cooking, if you want to, you don't always have to use wine. I prefer to use wine, but you can substitute it with chicken stock or vegetable stock. You can even use beef stock. I've made tomato sauce a couple times and just thrown beef base in to give it some darkness, and as opposed to using salt. So it works whatever your preference is. I'm just using what I have in the kitchen because that's just usually how I roll. And pick up this herbs I dropped on the floor. So give that a stir. That's all sweated off good. And I gotta wash my hands really quick. Alright. Here's my dry. Pop it over there. Give this another stir with the herbs in there. And now I pull this just off the heat for a second. And someone just walked in the door. I hope it's the person it's supposed to be. So add my wine. Hear it hitting the steam there. Give that a stir. Throw that back on the heat. Maybe turn it up just a bit now that I've added some liquid to it. Just give that a quick stir. Let that heat up a bit, and I will be back in a second. Oh yeah, I'm back. That was just Tracy coming home, so go say hi and a little bit more wine to this. It's reduced a bit. Give that a stir. What are we running at now? This phone, the thing is in a different spot. What is it? We're running at, okay, I gotta get a mosey on here. So, I gotta add some more salt later. I'm just adding a bit now because the tomato sauce, or sorry, the tomatoes are unsalted. Now, I just washed my hands, so if you're dumping your tomatoes in here, if it's a smaller pot and you can't just go right inside like that, what you should do, or what makes it easy, just put your hand on top and just kind of hold it and just let it slide in. Just make sure your hands are washed, otherwise it's kind of gross. But this, I hope it all fits in the pot. I'm going to crank the heat a bit. But like I said, I like doing half diced, half pureed, so it's kind of lumpy in spots, but didn't have that luxury this time at the store, so I'm just going to blitz it. Now normally I would suggest when you got this little bit, just add a little bit of water, shake it around, and then pour it in, but that's pretty watery right now, so I don't really want to spend all that time waiting for it to reduce. So I'll rinse these after, and down the drain, unfortunately, they will go. Alright, so while that's happening, I'm going to attempt to do my garlic butter. And the garlic butter, I guess I'm not really going to blitz garlic butter, but get my garlic going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some olive oil into the pot. Turn it on, first of all. Okay, that doesn't want to come off, so anyway. Just like that. It sounds like I'm putting a lot in there, but it's not as much as it sounds. That's plenty. Keep stirring on this bad boy here. Probably hit that pause button one more time because this is going to take a while. I'll get this garlic butter started, and then I will hit the pause button. And I'm going to take my crushed garlic. That's what it looks like when you crush it, by the way. It's all flattened out and broken up. Get rid of some stems here. And chop it up a little finer. The oil's heating up there. Just like that. It's my first cooking video I've done in about 3 months. Let's get that in there. That's going to take a minute because this is pot's a little thick on the bottom. But this one's super thin. Oops. This rinse. I have the space. Give that a little spin. I just want that to sweat out a bit. Let it soften up. So from now, My sugar ready, I don't want to forget that. For now, I will hit that pause button one more time. Okay, so pause off again. So got my garlic in here. I was hoping it would soften up a little bit more as it does, but so this reduce. This is going to be a while, so I have a feeling we might not see the end result of the tomato sauce in this video. I should have done it in 2 pots, and then it would have made more sense, but I'm a dummy sometimes, and I didn't. So anyway, so garlic and olive oil. The reason I put the olive oil in there is so when I add the butter. Now, olive oil does congeal when you put it in the fridge, but it's still soft and pliable, whereas butter is hard when you put it in the fridge. So I've left this out a little bit to soften it up. When you mix the olive oil with the butter and you put it in the fridge, it's it'll still be firm, but it'll be a little softer. And I'm not making a big batch, that's why I only did that little bit. And this is unsalted, so after I add the butter, which has crumbs on it from my toast earlier, after I add my butter, I'm going to add some salt. And something I meant to look for, which is cilantro. Melt down. They're washed. There we go. Just like that. Give this guy a stir. This one a stir. Add some salt. And I need my glasses on for this. I know I moved them somewhere. Where did I move to? I think I took them out of the room with me when I left a second ago. But, no, here it is. That's it. Nope, that ain't it. That's dill. Maybe I don't have any. I thought I had some. Oh, I found it. Cilantro, dried cilantro. Put that in there like that. So you got your garlic, salt, butter, olive oil, and some cilantro. Pretty simple, it's all you need. Give this one another stir. Add some sugar. Yeah, a little bit of sugar. Not much, just a little bit. Might seem out of place, but it works. This a little go. Add that bit of butter. And not much happening at the moment. Now I gotta play the waiting game. You don't, because I'm just gonna pause you. Oop, missed. Okay, so back after that little pause. So basically what I had done, I finished the garlic butter. So what I did there, you saw, is chopped up the garlic and add some olive oil, added some salt because it was unsalted butter. And then I added the butter, let it all reduce, mix it all up. Now it's cooling, and I'm hoping it's congealed enough that maybe I can show you what it is before I say goodbye. Also, what I did here, I used the blitzer mixer and just blitzed it down to a sauce as opposed to how it was just lumpy before. So you can see it's a sauce. It's a sauce. You get the Christmas hat in there. And the glasses. I look like Santa. But anyway, so it's a sauce. As I said, just 3 times in a row. In case you didn't hear it. But I'm going to let that reduce more, but I tasted it. It's still pretty good. It tastes exactly like it should, except it's going to be a lot stronger and a little bit more flavorful once it reduces to where I want it. Just time reasons, I don't want to keep this thing on pause for an hour and then come back and forget what the last thing it was I said to you. So it just makes it less confusing. 2 spoons. Why? I'll show you. Because first of all, I want to taste it. I'm going to blow on it because it's hot. Because blowing things is hot, isn't it? Tell me I'm wrong. It's good. It's actually very good. And once it reduces to where it's supposed to be and its consistency and everything, it's going to be amazing. So why 2 spoons? This is the one I just ate out of. So you take your second spoon. This is what chefs are supposed to do in the kitchen. You take this, you pour it onto the first spoon. And that's your tasting spoon. I have 1 spoon that only goes in the pot and 1 spoon that only goes in your mouth. That's how we do it in the kitchen. So if you're worried about the chefs tasting it and putting another, I'm sure there are chefs that do that. I don't. The chefs I work with, the chefs I have worked with generally don't do that as far as I know. So I don't know why I said generally. No. Don't do that as far as I know. If you do it at home, I don't care. It's your family. Whatever you do, you do. I don't know. But I'm going to go check that garlic butter, see if it's congealed just enough that I can show you it and taste it. And after that, I will have to bid you all farewell. Give me 1 second. It did not congeal enough outside. It was only out there for a few minutes, but it's like minus minus crazy out there for, because I don't actually know what it is, like minus 20, 30, I don't know what it is. It's fucking Canada winter, but partially congealed. But it's got the color, you can see that. Yeah, just tilt the camera. But it'll turn more of a, back to more of a golden color once it's fully done. But I'll give that a little taste, see if it's where I want it to be. I might add some more butter to it because it's not really a big yield there, but the flavor's there though. Definitely a little bit more salt, a little bit more butter, it'll be perfect. But that's that. So if you want to try out this recipe, go ahead, or add to it, or comment on it, see what you think about it. Let me know below. It's the one that I go by for the most part. I've been using it in restaurants over the years, and it works for me, and it seems to work for the guests. And give it a try yourself. See what you think. Go with fresh herbs rather than dry herbs because it's just better. And I guess that's all I got to say about that. Christmas, if that's your thing, Merry Christmas. If something else is your thing, well, happy, merry, joyous, whatever it is. Have fun, be safe. Hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. And have a happy new year. And until the next one, bye.